Hi everyone and welcome to Europa Parks. Today another episode of the Voltron series, the series that I've done to follow the building and the creation of a new coaster due to open in 2024 in Europa Park. Now, a few days ago I've just published the POV that Europa Park has officially released on their VJoy website. Quite unusual because they released it really early, but we're gonna talk about that as well. And so with you, I wanted just to go through the POV and check against all the different speculations and information that Europa Park released in their series. Now that we kind of see it all, see what this coaster is gonna look like in reality. So as I said, Europa Park released the POV during their press conference. The press conference was around the season 23, but probably they didn't have much to say. They haven't got lots of new attractions coming for this year. Let's remember also that this new coaster, or Voltron, was actually meant to open in 2023, then due to chip shortage and other things, has been postponed to 2024. But they kind of made this press conference as if they were gonna open it. So they shown this model, this static model of the whole area, which is gonna be Croatia. But also they went all out, showing this POV, official POV of the coaster, which of course is not real footage, it's still like a Planet Coaster-ish POV. But I was a bit, not disappointed but surprised because they released this in March 23 and the coaster is supposed to open April 24, so it's really early. Anyway, looking at the POV, this coaster looks amazing. Let's keep in mind that there are lots of new coasters coming. So we got Park Asterix, we got Warner Madrid, both opening this year. This one as well was meant to open this year and would have been a really nice fight between the three of them to get the title of Best New Coaster for 2023. Then, unfortunately, the Europa Park has been delayed to 2024. Probably is gonna win hands down in 2024 because I'm not sure how many new coasters are gonna open in 2024, but this one is really interesting. Now, looking at the POV, there are some things that I wanted to point out. But first of all, let's give a bit of introduction or setting for this coaster. Why is this coaster a big deal for Europa Park? Well, first thing is because the newest big coaster they got in Europa Park, it's Wodan, which was opened in 2012. So we are talking about a gap of 12 years. So for them, it's a real big deal because they really need to deliver. The other thing is that Mack Rides, in the meantime, created some amazing coasters. Of course, we're going to mention Ride to Happiness, but they were not open in their own park. But they kind of proved what they can do, and I think they really raised the bar with Ride to Happiness, which won also the title of the best new coaster, I think, for 2021. And that coaster is still considered like the best coaster in Europe as of today, probably. A masterpiece. I still think it's in the wrong park, but that's a different story. There are videos about that if you want to see them, but we're not going to talk about that now. So, this is a big deal for them. It's what they called the Bigger Dipper, so it's a kind of extreme version of their Big Dipper, which is the equivalent of a Eurofighter of Gerstlauer. In this implementation, is closer to the Smiler. The train is kind of identical to the Smiler. What we can gather from the POV is a confirmation that there are going to be 3 launches. When I say 3, it means like 3 sets of magnetic things that are going to launch the train. In reality, launches are gonna be 4 because in the last one you're gonna get launched backward first and then forward. So it's like 4 launches, but technically there are like 3 launching set on the track. Then other things that we knew already, this open-end spike, this rotating platform. and all that. So it's a kind of confirmation. But I think what is really interesting from this POV, well, first thing is that it looks really, really good. It's got a lot of Ride to Happiness vibes in terms of track. There is the airtime hill at the very end before going back in the station, which is kind of identical to Ride to Happiness. Also, if you look at the model, it looks like similar to Ride to Happiness in terms of how the track is spread out. So it's not a super dense track layout of the Smiler or Taron. It's really like spread out in the space, so it doesn't look like really heavy or with lots of interactions of a track with other parts of a track. It's really like laid out. The other impressive thing is that from the POV we can say that the length of the ride is gonna be 2 minutes, which is a lot. Now, we know that when it's an open track coaster, so it's a boomerang coaster, whatever you want to call it, shuttle coaster, you waste a bit of time because, of course, the train is going to reach to a dead point and then go on the other direction. So, and also the rotating platform is going to take a bit of time to do the spin. But generally speaking, it's like 2 minutes is quite a long time on a coaster. The other thing that's keeping in mind, those 2 minutes combined with the capacity they want to achieve, they declared 1,600 guests per hour, which is probably record breaking. Combined with the 2 minutes, it's like, okay, this is a real challenge. So, as I said in other videos, I'm expecting them to leverage all their experience in terms of speeding operations up. So, what they kind of said, and what I'm expecting is that we're going to have automated restraints, same as Arthur, and same as Ride to Happiness. Then they said that probably the train are not gonna stop in the station, they're gonna keep moving slowly in the station, same as what happened in Arthur. And that is a kind of psychological thing, because it's kind of pushing guests to onboard quickly because the train is not doing a stop. And then I'm expecting we're gonna see also all the lockers and probably even a metal detector. So they've done that already in Arthur again, and we saw the same solution on Fly in Phantasialand, and it's widely used in Energylandia, like in any coaster. The good point of that one is that, of course, they're asking you to get rid of all your belongings, and they want to make sure that whoever is in the station is ready to onboard quickly. We know it's gonna have 7 trains, out of which 4 can be simultaneously on the track, and that can be achieved because they go 3 launches, so they should be able to stop in case of emergency the trains on track at a certain point of a layout. The other thing that you can get from this video is, of course, the soundtrack. This coaster is going to have an onboard soundtrack. We kind of expected that because they've done it really, really nicely on Ride to Happiness, and of course it's going to be on this one as well. We found out now that the opening and closing theme they used on their series was actually the soundtrack of the coaster, kind of obvious thing. They gave away everything, as I said, so the soundtrack in the POV it's already in sync with the track, so that's what we're gonna expect. The coaster looks really, really nice. Nothing to say about it. It's gonna have a really long track, 2 minutes on board, this massive station. Some comments. So a bit disappointed maybe when I saw the model, the static model they shown during the press conference, because you can see there that the theming along the track it's close to nothing. So it's gonna be again a kind of Ride to Happiness thing when they got this massive station, heavily themed, but then once you are on board, there is not much going on. To be fair, there is gonna be a second Tesla tower at the very opposite end of the track, so there is going to be a bit of theming, but we are nowhere near kind of a Rockburg fly experience in Fantasyland. I had kind of hopes because the theming again is going to be steampunk, and we know that Europa Park is really, really good at theming, but from what they've shown, it looks like it's going to be more like a themed station rather than themed coaster, which is what it is. Saying that, it's gonna be interesting to see what Europa Park is gonna publish now on their VJoy portal. They got this series which is following the construction of the coaster. It's a documentary. We're now on season 2. They published a couple of episodes. Usually they're gonna publish around 8 or 9 episodes. Now, after this POV, they gave away everything, so I'm really not sure what they're gonna talk about, but we will see. And the other thing, I would say I'm a bit disappointed about all these POVs circulating, especially because these are official, so it's the park itself publishing the POV. But on this topic, I'm gonna publish a separate video because I really want to get also your opinion in terms of, is this right or wrong? Aren't they spoiling rather than promoting? Aren't they giving away far too much? I don't know. We're gonna discuss that in another video. I want to kind of show you a couple of examples and open the topic because I think the situation is a bit out of control now in terms of sharing POVs beforehand. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting. If you want to see the POV, I'm gonna put the link down in the description below, and it's in the playlist anyway. Or you can watch it on the official VJoy website. Please subscribe to the channel because, of course, I'm gonna keep an eye on the development of this coaster, even if now it's all out. And of course, theme parks are about to open, so I'm gonna start vlogging again, reviewing parks, and there are some really interesting parks lined up for 2023. So keep watching.